So today we know roughly that Earth is around 4.5 billion years old. But how did we arrive at this number? ऐसा क्यों है कि सारे प्लैनेट्स में से लाइफ सिर्फ अर्थ में पॉसिबल है और यूनिवर्स के बियॉन्ड है क्या? अगर ऐसे सारे सवाल ना आपके दिमाग में भी आते रहते हैं और आपको उनके जवाब चाहिए, देन टुडेज बुक इज जस्ट फॉर यू. Hi, hello, namaste. My name is RJ Manjula and welcome to my YouTube channel. And the book that I have for you today is called A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson, which is a journey through space and time. So this book is full of science concepts, all the concepts that we've read in all our physics and chemistry and biology classes, whether it is, evolution, whether it is, universe creation, whether it is life on earth and many other different science discoveries and concepts. It actually gives you full detailed history of how did we arrive at what we know today about science. जैसे कि किसी भी चीज का अगर आप लाइफ ऑन अर्थ की बात करते हैं तो वो पहले कौन से साइंटिस्ट थे जिन्होंने इस पे काम करना शुरू किया, फिर बीच में क्या क्रिटिसिज्म आया, फिर क्या हुआ, फिर किसने क्या कहा, हर एक चीज को बहुत डिटेल में इसमें लिखा गया है. सो व्हेन इट सेज अ ब्रीफ हिस्ट्री, अ शॉर्ट हिस्ट्री ऑफ नियरली एवरीथिंग, तो एक्चुअली द बुक मीन्स इट. और मैं आपको बताऊं कि जैसे there are a lot of tongue twisters that we have, and it has some interesting concepts that how did those tongue twisters came into existence. Like, for example, she sells seashells on the seashore, that we always say, actually came from this very interesting girl. Her name was Mary Enning, जिन्होंने बहुत छोटी एज में ना एक फॉसिल डिस्कवर कर लिया था, कहीं पर उन्हें मिल गया था, और उसके बाद she had that eye for looking for fossils. And after that, when she realized her special talent, for all the years she kept doing this only. She used to find fossils and she used to sell these to visitors who would come on that sea beach. So that's why she sells seashells on the seashore. So it also puts light on some scientists, their way of working, their way of living, their sometimes bizarre experiments, their obsession sometimes with their experiments, with their work. It also talks about the dark side of being a scientist. It also talks about a lot of politics in that area. And, it also talks about how there were some very, very daring and important scientists, and we don't know anything about them because they never got credit for their work. And some scientists who always stole credit of other people's work. So, of course, it talks about that also in details. Then a lot of other things, like, for example, we say, hey, you are on cloud nine. She's on cloud nine these days. हिंदी में हम कहते हैं कि सातवें आसमान पे चढ़ा हुआ है, लेकिन इंग्लिश में हम कहते हैं on a cloud nine. But why do we say it? Because in 18th century, क्लाउड्स को डिवाइड किया गया था. 1896 में एक्चुअली क्लाउड्स को डिवाइड किया गया था 10 कैटेगरीज में, जिसमें से जो 9th कैटेगरी पे क्लाउड था ना, इट वाज द मोस्ट कुशनी एंड वेरी फ्लफी. वो जो एक हल्की फुल्की फीलिंग वाली जो फीलिंग होती है ना, मतलब वैसा वाला वो क्लाउड दिखता था. एंड दैट्स व्हाई पीपल से, ओ यू आर ऑन क्लाउड 9. I love the fact how Bill Bryson, the author of this book, has tried to make science very easy to understand for normal readers and also make it fun. Like, for example, there is one part where he writes that protons gives an atom its identity, while electrons give an atom its personality. It also talks about carbon, and carbon is called a party animal. Because why? Because it attaches itself to many other atoms, sometimes including itself, to form bonds that are necessary to build proteins and DNA. And that's why carbon is the party animal of the atomic world. And it also, at one point, I think there's one line in the book that says fog is nothing more than just a cloud that lacks the will to fly. तो इस बुक में आपको ये भी पता चलेगा कि जो फोटोसिंथेसिस, वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इनोवेशन जो मानी जाती है, वो एक्चुअली प्लांट्स ने इन्वेंट नहीं करी थी, वो एक्चुअली बैक्टीरिया ने इन्वेंट की थी. And also, like, for example, there are a lot of scientists that we know about because we've read concepts given by them. We know about them, whether it is Newton या फिर वो आइंस्टाइन हो या चार्ल्स डार्विन हो. बट क्या आपने चार्ल्स वॉलकॉट का नाम सुना है? he is actually known as the grandfather of NASA, जिनकी वजह से NASA बना है. But because we don't know anything about these scientists, and then it also talks about a very important part of our body, cells, जिसकी वजह से हमारी body बनी है. But why are these cells called cells only? Because the discoverer, the scientist who discovered these cells, Robert Hooke, he looked at them and he felt that they exactly look like monk's cells. You know, where monk lives and, you know, meditate and everything. Those cells, these human body cells reminded him of that, and that's why he named them cells. And speaking of monk, there was actually a monk scientist, Gregor Mendel, was his name. He also is responsible for a lot of important discoveries that we don't know about. So now I'm going to read my favorite part from this book, which is actually about this bacteria that knows how to survive in the worst of situation. And I think that can be a good life lesson for us also. So it says, the key to long life, it seems, is not to do too much. When things are really tough, bacteria are prepared to shut down all systems and wait for better times. It also says that take the hardy and little known organisms known as Deloid rotifers. These are microscopic animals that can survive almost anything. When conditions are tough, they curl up into a compact shape, switch off their metabolism, and wait for better times. In this state, you can drop them into boiling water or freeze them almost to absolute zero. That is the level where even atoms give up. And when this torment had finished and they are returned to a more pleasing environment, they will uncurl and move on as if nothing had happened. So, a little warning before you start this book, that though Bill Bryson, the author of this book, has tried to make science very simple for you, very fun, but because sometimes the history is so complicated and so deep, it does get a bit boring at some points. So be ready for that, but have patience. क्योंकि कुछ जैसे स्कूल में जब आप एग्जाम देते थे या कॉलेज में, तो कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत बोरिंग होते थे, आपको पता था, बहुत डिफिकल्ट होते थे, लेकिन आपको ये पता होता था कि ये एग्जाम्स में पक्का आएंगे और इसीलिए आप उसकी तैयारी करते थे. तो आई हैड द सिमिलर फीलिंग व्हाइल रीडिंग दिस बुक दैट देयर वर सर्टेन पार्ट्स दैट आई फाउंड बोरिंग, बट देन there were some parts that I found really, really interesting. I was astonished to read certain facts. So that's why have patience. I had, I think, similar kind of feeling when I was reading Sapiens also by Yuval Noah Harari. And because that book also is kind of an important book and does get a bit boring in between, but then it's an important book that you should not miss. In fact, by the way, if you've not watched the review of Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari by me, then please go to my channel. You'll find the review there. I'll also put the link in the description box below and also on the I button above. So I hope A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson is the book that you are going to read next, and I hope you like my review. If you did, then please share it with all the book lovers, all your family and friends, and हम बहुत जल्द मिलेंगे with a new video. तब तक के लिए पढ़ते रहिए और हंसते रहिए.